Good morning, Mr. Lee.
Okay, quickly, let us evaluate this current administration. Today marks 1 year on that seat of power. Quickly, how positively has this administration affected your life and business?
Let me be speaking generally because if I speak personally, look as if I'm personalizing it. Because is affecting me as a person, I believe, is affecting the generality of Nigerians. From my own understanding, I think this government have not been able to deliver on their mandate to really the hope of Nigerians. Because if you look at the section 14 subsection, yes, section 14 of Nigeria, section 14 of Nigerian Constitution, as amended, is very clear about the primary purpose of governance. He said the welfare of Nigerians and their security shall be the primary purpose of governance. And these two major areas have been seriously threatened under this administration. As we speak, I had a conversation with someone today who said 3 seed of tomato is 1,000 in Nigerian economy today. I have a personal experience where I tried to get a tube of yam recently, about 4 or 5 days ago. I was surprised when I realized that a tube of yam is 6,500. So for me, I think this government have not done well, particularly in the area of food security. The reason may not be far-fetched, but we understand that the criminals, call them non-state actors, you may be right. Call them bandits, you may be right. Call them Fulani herdsmen, you may be right. Call them Boko Haram, you may be right. But the bottom line is that they have virtually taken over all the arable lands and all the places that hitherto produce food for our economy. Mr. Lee, I must say that I recently had a conversation with a man from Benue State who shocked me. As according to him, he mop up food from Lagos. He buy food stuff from Lagos, rice, beans, yam, garri, and sent to his village. But according to him, his family is in IDB camp, and we all know that what Benue State represent in Nigeria, they are the basket food of the nation. So for me, I think the area the government have failed woefully has to do with the area of welfare of Nigerians. Their security is another big issue. I think both of them are intertwined, because if you address the issue of insecurity, people can go back to farm and you have sufficient food. Then let us look at the area of our FS. For me, the government took the decision of unification of forest, FS at the official window at the wrong time. Because at the time they took that decision, though it's a right policy, but the timing was wrong. Because we needed to start producing sufficient to start exporting, to start any foreign exchange, to bridge the gap that will be created when you unify the exchange rates. That didn't happen, and the government unified the exchange rates. We look at the subsidy removal of gasoline, which came at the instance of the president taking power. We understand that during his inaugural speech, he didn't waste time to say subsidy is gone. And we all know the impact of that statement in our economy, because PMS has multiplied effect in our economy. I agree with Mr. President that subsidy should go, but I disagree with Mr. President in how he managed post-subsidy removal. Because for me, Mr. President made so many promises after subsidy removal of gasoline. We cannot overemphasize the issue of government saying they needed to pay the vulnerable 8,000 monthly for a good number of months, an amount people said it was grossly inadequate. Government promised to review it, and as we speak, they have not reviewed it. They promised to give 1 billion each to about 75 companies. Up to today, they have not done it. They promised to give 500,000 and 1 million to a good number of small and medium scale enterprises. As we speak, they have not done that. They even promised to give 50,000 to a good number of nano business owners. As we speak, they have not done that. So that perhaps would have solved the problem occasioned by the rumor of subsidy on gasoline. Don't forget that they equally promised to roll out vehicles that run on CNG. More than 7 years after that promise, going to 1 year, they have not done that. So you see that if you should rate this government, it is a government for me that is striving on, will I say propaganda? I don't know whether it's harsh, but for me, the government has not fared well going by their promise. Because if you cannot even do anything, why don't you stand on your promise? Because the government has not been able to fulfill its promises. So for me, I think this government has performed poorly under this 1 year of review.
Okay, despite this poor performance of the current administration, we haven't seen the opposition in their top gear. However, in the recent time, we heard that Peter Obi is working on merging with Atiku, provided it's for the national interest. As a person who has supported Obi in the past, do you think this is the right path or the right way to go for Peter Obi, considering his statements, in the past whereby he called PDP a structure of criminality?
I think what is driving Obi is interest. Interest is not bad because as a Nigerian, he's entitled to contest for that most exalted office in the land. But for me, I agree with not just Obi, any other person for that matter, that say that the opposition need to come together if they must wrestle power from the current ruling party. Whether you call it PDP, call it NPP, the important thing is you have Nigerians who are in the political parties, and that's your target because there's power in America's strength. Don't forget that until the opposition parties came together under this platform called APC, they were not able in their different platforms to oust PDP from power. So I think that is what PDP and Labour Party and maybe NMPP will be looking towards. And for me, it is not going to be a wrong idea. But how they were able to agree and who to get what, I think that may be the biggest hurdle. But for me, anytime, any day, it is going to be difficult, a Herculean task for AP to be standing against Tinubu with or without Tinubu's performance because of the nature of Nigerian politics, because of the nature of Nigerian composition of Nigeria. Because the average Hausa man would prefer to form an alliance with a Yoruba man, which is Tinubu, rather than forming an alliance with an Igbo man. That is not to say if you ask me to choose as an individual between an Obi and an Atiku, I'll choose Obi over an Atiku. But I want to tell you that if they front Atiku in the merger and perhaps Obi become running mate to Atiku, it becomes easier for the opposition to oust the current government of Senator Ahmed Bola Tinubu out of power than say Obi should lead as a presidential candidate.
Okay, thank you for that submission.